Am I right? You are the Lord's inheritance. You're not my inheritance. You are the Lord's inheritance. And we won't have open manifestation if we still have an affinity to the gospel of salvation, so that we can just be okay to have a changed life. But we've been called to have the gospel of the kingdom, which is an exchange life. See, the gospel of salvation is you've been transitioned out of the law of spirit of sin and death. But the gospel of the kingdom is that you've been translated into the law of the spirit of life in Christ Jesus. I want the life that comes out from the spirit. I don't want to know that what I've been saved from. I want to find out what I've been saved for. The for is important. Acts 13 and 26. Wow. Time is gone. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham. And whosoever, I always want to do this thing. I always wanted to him and hum. One day I'm going to learn. I've been trying to do it for 18 years. That's just my throat won't make it happen. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth God, to you is the word of this salvation sent. Talking to the religious system, am I right? The stock of Abraham, descendants of Abraham, that's all it means. Next verse. For they that dwell in Jerusalem, or they that are in church, and the rulers, pastors, fivefold ministries. Am I right? That's my Moffett paraphrase, but y'all all right? Come on, I'm finishing. Come on, just finish strong with me. But they that dwell in church, and their rulers, teachers, prophesiers, prophets, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets which are read every Sabbath day. Because the Bible, Isaiah, the old letters was read every Sabbath day. They have fulfilled them in condemning him. And they had wrong motives. Y'all got that? It don't matter if you have good stock. It don't matter if you've been raised in the church. It don't matter if you had out-of-body experiences, 2 angels, and a visitation from the Lord above. Amen? It doesn't matter. You can still condemn him. You can still be critical and judgmental of him. See, if we're going to have an open manifestation, we need to cleave to him. We need to be able to discern his voice coming through his people, his prophets that are being sent to us. This must happen, y'all. Just tell you that it got to happen. And we will have an open manifestation. See, they couldn't have an open manifestation because the religious system didn't allow it to happen. Remember when John the Baptist said concerning him, one that's coming behind me that is stronger than I, and I can't even tie his shoe latch. To the first century, he was coming. He did marvelous things. He didn't do them in a corner, as Paul said over in Acts 28, I believe. It was open. He did some things that the religious system wanted to kill him for. And I'm here to tell you, we got to understand it. Although he did all those great feats, they didn't recognize him. Although it was prophesied, they were looking for him to come of Isaiah 40. Because that's what John the Baptist ministry was all about. He was the prodromos. He was the voice in the wilderness. They didn't receive it because they stayed true. They had a strong affinity to the old system. You get what I'm saying? Some of us have a greater affinity for old systems. That's why our past is a commentary to our future. So it want to tell you what your finish gonna be. Your beginning wants to tell your finish. You can't do it. But God wants to do some things, and his voice wants to come. He wants to reveal his glory to all flesh. He wants to reveal his glory to you. He wants to reveal his glory to you. I don't care who you are, everybody, everyone. He wants his glory to be revealed to all flesh. You can't tell yourself. Stop letting the enemy of your mind telling you and try to give you the line of demarcation and tell you ain't worthy for it. It's just too much. I'm going to throw in the towel. No. I know you've been changed. But no, you ain't. It's still is the next changed life. The next installment is not to be free from law and sin and death. The next installment is that the law of the Spirit of life is at work in you. So there's another installment, an open manifestation. The things and the theological terms that we talk about in here. It's not enough just to discuss him and have some dialogue about him. It's time for him to be demonstrated. Open manifestation says, that which is in me is now being validated by my actions. That's what I'm talking about. Your walk is a testimony of something you settled internally. Your convictions no longer is unclear. Your walk brings clarity to your convictions. The reason why we don't have clarity because our walk is not in conjunction with our convictions. That's why we're still in confusion. That's why we have no direction, we have no vision, we have no purpose, we have no significance. Because that was in you must come through you. Them rascals sat in there every Sabbath, and some of us every what? Every Sunday. Let me give you a plug in for these Hebrew Israelites that's coming up. This is not even in my notes, but I discovered something in the rabbinical writings. I'm doing some Orthodox study, and I found out that the Sabbath day is not. God never intended for it to be a day of worship. It was a day of rest. Everything rests. So when they want to fight you and tell you Sunday is not the day of Sabbath, Saturday is, no. And truth be told, you ain't supposed to be doing no work on the Sabbath. I'm talking about naturally. So that just takes the weapon out of their hand. You can tell them it's not even about worship. It's about rest. Y'all missed everything I just said. You know any Hebrew Israelite that tell you worship on the wrong day, but it's never been an issue of worship. Man, I just shot that out of the sky. Y'all meet people like that, it's picking up speed. It's picking up a whole lot of speed. You on Facebook, everybody's going back, especially in the black community. They want to revert back and say, we the chosen ones, we the tribe. No, you ain't chosen. No. We got to get some of the crooked places straight. I'm just saying, y'all better do y'all homework, because there's a lot of stuff coming through the pipe. And when it comes to your door knocking, you give it the answer and give them the left foot of fellowship. Don't live here anymore. I ain't listening to all that muck. That miry, horrible pit and miry clay and stuff. You need to know what you know and why you know it. God wants us to have an open manifestation. That means He wants you to move beyond just becoming a student and a scholar, a living epistle. So people can see it and say, man, something happened to Kathy, something happened to Robert, something happened to Charles, something happened to Betty. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's where it should be. But you don't have to bring up a WWJD pen or get all the paraphernalia. You become a walking testimony because God did something in you that's beyond religion, beyond tradition. Father, we bless you. We thank you. Thank you for this word.